from a place named Ravine. You know where St. Hilary is? I carry water from there to Paget Farm on my head already. It was so rough in those days for water. And our main cooking was that well water. It's only like when we have like peas and things like that, and the little meat and so, we get the little rainwater. We'll ask cousin somebody or tanty somebody to give us a little large bucket of water. It was very, very hard. Now, we had 3 main sistren in Paget Farm. One at the Anglican Church in Paget Farm, and we had 2 down there in the end of this village here. You know the Chinese down there? Right, they had 2 sistren there and 1 at the Anglican Church. So on Wednesday afternoon, the village people will go down and we'll get maybe, it depends on how many people live in a home. You will get sometimes 2 buckets or 3 buckets of water. And in those days, remember, there was no machine because we didn't have electricity. So you had to wash on hand, and then you used to have a round tub made from board. And you put a jute board. You have ever seen a jute board? It's a piece of board made with like strips, and you get on that jute board and you wash your clothes. You didn't have bleach in those days either. You know what you used to do? We did not even have a scrubbing brush. It's the corn cob. When you shell the corn, you save the big, big cob. But we used to call them in those days the corn hubs. And you scrub the clothes with them. And we didn't have bleach either, as I have said already. We used to put, if the clothes have stains, we put them on the green grass when it's rainy time. But when it's not rainy time, every little yard had nice little stones packed. And there's where you used to bleach your clothes. And as the clothes start drying out with the sun, you sprinkle them with the soap water. And we didn't have washing powder, you know. In our day, we had the long bars of soap, and you cut them by the pieces. And especially when you have your relatives sailing on those corners, oh, they bring the big bars of soap and they will share to relatives by the pieces. That's our main source of washing. No washing powder. And then you sprinkle those clothes on those rocks, or if it's rainy time, on the nice green grass. And then you have to wash them over and rinse them. And remember, those days were the starch from the cassava. You starch those that have to be starched, and you dry them. And when you think about the ironing, as I said before, no electricity. We had the hand iron, and set it in that coal pot with coals. And that's how we used to iron the clothes. And when you take that hand iron, get a piece of rag, and you wipe it clean. And you know how we used to test it? That's why my face have cold today. We used to put that hot iron to our face to feel the temperature, to see how hot it is, to iron the clothes. And then little after, the goose came in. You have ever seen a goose? The goose is an iron with a door, so it can hold plenty holes in it. And then you close the door, and that can allow you to iron lots of clothes, like 5-6 pieces before it's cold. And then you start it up again, you kindle it up again.
Okay, so what was starch used for?
Well, as I said before, there are different material that you put starch in. Even now, you can get the tin starch that you spray your clothes with. But people really don't go much now on the cassava starch, you know, the farine you eat, where the starch is made from that. When you want to make the farine, now in the days, I don't know if you have ever been along a farine shed with the copper, and you'll have the cloth wringing, squeezing the juice from the cassava out. So when that juice is squeezed, now they put it to settle, and when that is settled, now they throw off that water, and it makes like a crust. That's the cassava starch. You have to wash that now over clean again and then dry it. And that was mainly used for all your nice white clothes, you know, and the clothes that get the material that could have taken cotton. And when you iron those clothes, oh boy, stiff and smooth. But now Young people hardly go for starch. Sometimes they use the canned starch, the spritz starch that they buy, but they don't use the cassava starch anymore.
So what about the toilets? Yeah, toilets, inside toilets.
No, sweetheart. We didn't have inside toilets at all. Inside toilets came to Bequia in the 60s, I can remember that. We had our outdoors toilet, which lots of people still have. The outdoors toilet, that's what we had to do. Because where was the water? And money was not in those days. We didn't have money. You know, to do, mainly the whole of Bequia had boathouses. And I wouldn't say Bequia, but St. Vincent too, until the wall houses started coming. Everything started changing like in the 60s, you know, and then people start getting the indoors toilet when life became a little better. But we had the pails and the potties, and that was our main use, you know, and the outside toilets, not indoors at all.
So what if the outdoor toilet were clogged? What would you do?
You have to dig a nick and then you pit. By the time you